demo. Running a bit late today, but we will get this started in a few minutes when some more people sign on. Thanks. Right now I'm getting the tanks ready to cast. There's oxygen in one and acetylene in the other. Hi there. And the kiln is still going. It gets super hot in there. You can see the coils. I'm going to go turn the kiln off so I don't electrocute myself. So I have the kiln up to about 1300 degrees, and it's going for the last, it's been going for about 8 hours, give or take. I started it last night with all of the willow branches that we did yesterday, and then they burn out at like a lower temp and then a medium temp, and then they finish at ideally 1250 is like the goal temperature, but I set my kiln to 13 so that it like accounts for me opening the door and things. So they burned out there for about 8 hours, and now we are moving on. I've already vacuumed them out, and I can show you what they look like. So this is the plaster mold. It's like a steel can, and then you can see all those holes in there are all where the twigs burned away. And the button from our mold earlier, there's like a little button, raised button there, and that makes a funnel for the metal to go into. And please let me know if you have any questions. I'll try and stop as we go, but it's gonna get a little fiery. So this is going into the centrifugal caster, and I'll move you over there. Get you guys at a better angle. This is the centrifugal caster. So this guy spins around super fast and flings this flings the metal in. So metal side this way into the crucible, and then it gets spun around 3 times. And we are working in sterling silver today. So I'm going to add some casting grain. And if you know anything about casting, please don't judge me. I don't measure my metal. It's hard to measure how much volume a twig takes up and weigh it like that. So I've just come up with my own method over the years. And I do a pretty decent job at eyeballing it. So no judgment. So this is a recycled sprue from a previous casting. Sterling silver, it's a big hunk of metal. But this will become like the funnel base for the next one. So we like to mix a little bit of old metal and a little bit of new metal together. But it's a pretty closed circuit on the metal, so I can reuse and reuse and reuse. I add more each time, but it's all recycled. See if I can get you guys set up. And hopefully I don't mulch you. I'm not sure. Okay. I've never done this on camera, so it's weird. Alright, so kiln's going. Tools I need. So I have these sexy specs that block the light, so I can barely see you guys now, but we'll see. It'll allow me just to see the flame really nicely. Normally I have a ventilation system going, but it is way too loud for the camera. So I've got a tip going. It's just a welding torch tip. Traditionally we use a rose tip, but my system is a little bit more DIY than most. So I'm going to start warming the crucible up first. Especially the point is the smallest at the back that shoots the metal in. That part needs to be the hottest so it doesn't freeze in that tight space. So it's starting to glow. I don't know if you can tell that it's starting to glow. I can also tell that the funnel that goes in is open enough that flames are coming out the other end of the crucible, so that's a good sign. And I'm going to start heating the metal. Put this on right here. There we go. That large chunk just melted. I'm trying to collect some from off the sides. So, we're melting the sterling silver. It right now is in like a sludgy state. Soon it will solidify or liquefy into like one big mass. Try and get some mess out of there. Because I recycle, some of the investment goes back in and it just blocks things up a little bit, so if I can pop it out, it's helpful. is super hot. Hi, Tracy. Alright, so this is a carbon rod. It's going to help me get some of the sediment out of the molten silver. Like stir it up a little bit. I am going to actually add a little bit more silver. I'm not happy with the volume in there. Okay, so those silver beads are melting pretty quickly. Let's see if I can tilt you over and see what I see. It's like a liquidy mass moving around. Hope that looks good. Okay, alright. Nope, you're pretty good. There it is. Alright. So, I'm getting the temperature back because I haven't been consistent on it. Sorry for the bumpy ride. For those of you just joining, we are about to cast some sterling silver into a mold centrifugally. So it's going to spin super fast. Hopefully nothing comes flying at you. Or me. Alright. So this is going to spin out. You can see it's not glowing in my crucible anymore, so I know the metal went somewhere. I can see a flash of red that makes me know that it went in, and I have a little button in the funnel. Right now the metal is being like drawn in to where the twig form is and cooling, and it'll keep drawing metal from like the button, we call it, at the top. Stop this. This is a new crucible, so it gets stuck. So I break them in the way I want them to be. looks like I overfilled my crucible, which I rarely do, so I'm gonna have to reheat this a bit to loosen it up. And then we'll be able to get it out. So I've been doing this for about 13 years and about 11 as pre-press art. And you know, it's just a really unpredictable process. This doesn't happen very often, but happens today. Let's see if that helps. Alright, well, I'm going to work on this and I will come back in a little bit to show you the next one.